Officials at federal, state, and local levels announcing new partnerships with the goal of making Cincinnati safer. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Rob Williams.
I'm Trisha Mackey. So that comes after an uptick in violence in several neighborhoods over the summer and a violent downtown brawl that grabbed national attention.
We have team coverage to help you understand the resources being given to the city through this agreement and how it could impact you.
Let's kick it off with Brenda Ordonez.
A lot of high-profile leaders gathered here at City Hall this afternoon to talk about their expanded partnership. It included the likes of Governor Mike DeWine, Police Chief Teresa Thigi, Mayor Aftab Purival, U.S. Marshal Michael Black, and U.S. Attorney Dominic Geraci. Now, what is this going to look like for Cincinnati residents? Well, it means that you're going to start seeing a lot more troopers, not just monitoring the interstates or the airways, but also in our streets.
Ohio State Highway Patrol as a support system for local law enforcement around the state of Ohio. And we looked at this to determine what we could do to be value added to local police departments when they were facing a difficult situation.
This summer, Cincinnati was marred by high-profile incidents that stirred up concern over public safety.
Violent crime continues to be a challenge. While it is down, we have seen a positive shift, especially in target areas of our city like our downtown and OTR, and our residents and businesses continue to face challenges. We will not stop continuing to press hard to make sure that Cincinnati is safe, but critically, that all Cincinnatians feel safe.
That's why Mayor Aftab Purival, along with Police Chief Teresa Thigi, are accepting all of Governor DeWine's state resources he offered back in July.
Resources, as the governor mentioned, will be backing up our officers in areas ranging from aviation assistance to increased traffic enforcement that frees up our officers to focus on violent crime, to targeted joint operations in hotspot areas that we identify. This support helps strengthen our local law enforcement at a time when we're already asking so much of our officers.
Governor DeWine says this extended partnership is to focus on violent offenders. Here's how the state's investigative unit will be involved.
This unit enforces Ohio's alcohol laws and will be paying increased attention to liquor establishments in high crime areas where patrons are known to sell drugs and who are known to illegally possess firearms.
The mayor and governor also announced CPD officers are in active conversations with federal and state partners around enhanced enforcement in tracking parole violators. This comes just days after Fox 19 confirmed 4 probation substations will close, along with a reduction in parole officers.
The chief has been working with both the U.S. Marshal Service to participate in this task force, but also has been working with State Representative Cindy Abrams to advocate for some state law changes in order to empower us and collaborate more effectively with state partners to crack down on parole violations. That is what we can control, and that is our direction to make sure that that anyone who is violating their parole, cutting their bracelet, not showing up when they need to be, are held accountable.
Yeah, so these resources are going to be sticking around to Cincinnati for as long as the city needs them. We're going to have more information on this package on our website. For now at City Hall, Brenda Ordonez, Fox 19 Now.
With so many officers from agencies working together, it's fair to wonder who will technically be in charge.
Alexis Martin has a closer look at how decisions will be made.
DeWine says for an agreement like this to happen, there needs to be a lot of trust between local, state, and federal leaders. Now, he says if you're walking on the streets of Cincinnati, you may not notice a significant change with the troopers in town. But he says if you're a criminal here, you're going to see a huge difference.
Quite literally, criminals in Cincinnati can run, but they can't hide.
More than 5 weeks after a violent brawl downtown drew national attention and called Cincinnati's safety into question, city, state, and federal leaders announced new partnerships to tackle violent crime.
The only people who should feel uncomfortable right now are those who seek to cause harm.
The Ohio State Highway Patrol will now assist Cincinnati police with drug investigation and enforcing traffic laws, among many other duties. But Ohio Governor Mike DeWine made it very clear that Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Thigi is still heading the chain of command for law enforcement in Cincinnati.
The Cincinnati Police Department is always in charge.
Governor DeWine says they're used to working with the Cincinnati police, and partnerships like this are only possible when there's trust.
Do they work well together, and do they have confidence in their fellow law enforcement officer? And the answer is yes, they do. So they're going to work well together. That's not going to be a problem.
When the help was first offered, we know that Mayor Aftab Pureval did not accept all of the help. I asked Governor Mike DeWine if this is normal in other cities they've helped with, like Dayton and Toledo. He says he wouldn't comment on that, but a lot of pushback from Cincinnati leaders when the help was first offered came from a lack of understanding of what those extra resources mean.
And so that took a little time. We had to have a lot of conversations. They also were concerned about putting law enforcement officers on the street here in Cincinnati who are not fully briefed on the way Cincinnati has done it in regard to collaborative, et cetera. And we had no problem with that.
Governor DeWine also spoke about how most of the violent crime in any city is often caused by the same people. He says part of this partnership is working to get federal charges for many of these repeat offenders.
U.S. attorney, and the reason they go to the U.S. attorney is the federal law is just a lot tougher when you have a violent offender who is carrying a gun.
The governor and mayor also mentioned that even though President Trump is looking at sending the National Guard to some cities dealing with high crime, they don't believe this will be needed in Cincinnati.
No reason to even consider sending in the National Guard to Cincinnati. Not only would it be a massive waste of resources, but it would ultimately make our city less safe.
We don't know how long the state help will be here in Cincinnati, but Mayor Aftab Pureval did say that he would take the help as long as there is a need. Reporting downtown with photojournalist Tom DeWeese, I'm Alexis Martin, Fox 19 Now.